Beat selling is dead. I'm just playing. I'm not going to start by saying that. Beat selling is not dead. I post my beat sales all the time. But what I am noticing is that those days of waking up to 10 Beatly sales, they're not over, but they're slowly dwindling. Will they come back? Yeah, it could be. I don't know. But what I am seeing is that artists are a lot more interested in custom beats, working directly with producers, putting down their ideas, putting their heads together with producers. And I think the reason for that is ownership, not just literal ownership in the sense of copyright ownership, but that's definitely a big deal. You know, a lot of artists, I think, are getting annoyed with content ID conflicts. They don't want leases because they feel like other people have access to them. They want something exclusive. They want something that feels like them, that they can release without fear, especially with the whole AI thing taking over. We know that if you generate a beat with AI, you don't own that. And so anyone could take that. It's in the public domain. So artists are aware of that, believe it or not, and the market is changing accordingly. Ownership also involves just having your vision represented in the final product. So a lot of artists want to work with producers that can communicate back and forth and create something that they both feel figurative ownership of. You know, we both created that I really hear my vision in this track. And so in order to do that, we all have to be better communicators. And I think one thing that great producers do is communicate well and know how to bring ideas out of recording artists. That could be knowing how to vocal produce somebody, knowing how to really instruct them on how to deliver whatever verse or chorus or vocals that they're recording, but also how to pull out what they're actually envisioning, because a lot of times recording artists don't have the vocabulary that producers speak. And that's a problem. It leads to a lot of frustration when you ask a recording artist, what type of beat do you want? I don't know. I want something fast. Fast? Okay. What's an example of something fast? And they tell you, gonna WhatsApp. That's not fast. That's 60 beats per minute or something like that. But to them, that's how they're picturing it in their heads. And so as a producer, you have to learn how to draw ideas out of them, how to draw clearer, more concrete ideas out of them. I saw this amazing video. This producer, one, she's an amazing musician overall and obviously a great producer, but she created this amazing video that producers can learn from and that producers should just send to all of their rapper and singer and songwriter friends right now. Seriously, this is an amazing video. I'm going to play it for you now. Let's talk about it. This will help.
Producers are not mind readers, but artists act like we are. Number one, bring a reference track. Same vibe, similar tempo, same energy. Don't say make it cool. Show me what cool sounds like. Number two, record your idea with a click. Even on your phone, headphones on. That's it. Now I know your timing and I can build around you. Number three, give me something about the key, major, minor, your starting note. We'll figure it out, but don't give me nothing. And the groove is everything right now. If you can't explain it, beatbox it. Dun, ka, dun, dun, ka. I'll get it. Last, learn your sounds.
I'm going to stop there because I don't want to just give away all her content, but follow her, NORKOJAZZ, Norigo Jazz. I just thought this was an amazing video that spoke to my soul as a producer working directly with artists on building custom beats. What's your initial reaction to that explanation, Dame?
I mean, it sounds like she gave some great advice. I mean, I don't really have anything. Everything made a lot of sense to me. I know that artists are typically vague because a lot of times they don't know what they want. They're just like, just make me something dope. And sometimes I know that I can't fully give like a full detail. Maybe that also lends to the positives of like working with someone like consistently. They kind of learn even when you can't articulate it, they kind of know what you're talking about, even with limited words. So locking in with a producer and working with somebody over a long period of time can start to get a feel for what you want, even when you can't explain it.
Well, for anyone that saw my video of me when I was talking about that artist that ran off on the balance when I made the custom beat for her, that was a really frustrating conversation because anytime I would ask for a tempo reference, he would say, I don't really know about that. And then I would say, okay, well, what kind of era, like what subgenre are you interested in? Oh, I don't really know. Okay. Why don't you record to a click? So I kind of ran through, I hadn't watched this video yet. I wish I would have just sent this to her, but I still feel as though a lot of artists rely on producers to bring their vision to life when they themselves, as you said, Dame, don't have much of a vision. They might have a vague idea in their head. And I think, unfortunately, now more than ever, the vision that people have is based on music they've already heard, but it's so related to perception and success and maybe even nostalgia and emotions rather than actual musicality. Because it's like, I want a song that sounds like an anthem. Okay, well, probably that means bigger instruments like horns and bigger drums and a lot of, space and some kind of chant, some kind of hook that's anthemic. And when it comes down to it, and you have these conversations with them, you realize, they're talking about Lil Wayne Lollipop. Like, that's not an anthem, that's a hit. But you think it's an anthem because it was such a big song. And when in reality, that beat is really subdued. There are like two instruments. There's that main lead and then those chords, that pad. But that's the issue, because a lot of people don't have even really a musical brain. And especially when you're working with a producer to build you a custom beat, you might be starting at a very basic level, at a lower level of your career. And so I personally encourage producers to learn about all this stuff, learn the number system, which I'm not great at, so I'm being kind of hypocritical, but the number system when you're working with, session players and collaborators, learning keys, tempos, rhythms, just the basics of music theory. I don't expect necessarily all rappers to do that, but if you can't explain music theory, then this is why I love this video. She's giving alternatives to you coming into the room and saying, I want 90 beats per minute, F minor, this type of tempo, this type of rhythm. I want this kind of, because that's a little too much to ask for a lot of people starting out. But what they can do, as she said, is beatbox it. Pull a Michael Jackson. We've all seen him do it. Record to a click. You have a phone. Okay. Open GarageBand or whatever, BandLab, whatever's on your phone. Figure out the click that works for your tempo and record it. That's easy. You really don't even have to know music theory for that necessarily. You just have to figure out which tempo is great. And then you record. We get the cadence. Like she said, the groove. I think she's more old school. So she's going to use that word, but you know what I mean? Just find a way to meet the producer halfway, because I can't tell you how frustrating it is for both parties to either be communicating remotely or in person when someone is explaining their vision using terms that are either vague or terms that just don't mean anything. Like, make that melody harder, or make the harmony more minor. Just things where you're like, you don't really know what those words mean. So let's find a way, and there are many ways, to get on the same page, and you don't have to always explain it. You can simply show it, bringing in the reference. I love this track. Okay, let's figure out why you like this J. Cole song so that I can better understand what type of beat you want. That type of thing. It helps. It makes everyone's lives easier.
Yeah, but producers, you're not off the hook, right? Because like, I could see a situation where, like, if an artist can tell you exactly what to do, then they probably do just start to deserve some of your producer, public, like, part of, because you just get told like, hey, put this here, put this here, put this here, but like, who produced the track at that point?
It's not even that. It's just, what's your vision? If it's your song, I could be in a space where I'm sending beats all day and they either catch you or they don't.
Yeah.
And then, I produced that. I inspired the song. What happens less often is when the artist comes in with an idea, or they already have a song written, and either the song's already written, cool, I can work with that. I know what to do, so I'll produce it. But if they have an idea in their head and then we're coming together on that idea, that's when the communication really has to be clear.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even necessarily mean that they're telling me what to do. It's just like, explain what you are envisioning. And then my job is to bring it to life and add all of the things that I'm good at doing as a producer. And honestly, Dame, I think it's my job as a producer to bring that out of the artist, even when they start explaining something. It's to put things into perspective. Like when an artist is like, I want it fast. Okay, fast how? Like that new T.I. song. That new T.I. song is not fast. Fast is like 130 beats per minute. Fast is like, David Guetta or something like that. You're talking about a pretty slow track. So let me understand why you think it's fast. Oh, it's because there are 16th notes in the hi-hats or 32nd notes in the hi-hats. That feels fast to you. So as a producer, all of that stuff that falls on me. So no, we're not taking producers off the hook, because a lot of producers can't do that either. They hear an artist say fast and they're like, okay, cool.
My bad. I didn't mean to do that in the middle of you talk. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to play this other video, but ultimately, I mean, communication is key, crucial. And I don't know what's going on. There we go. Boom. Yeah, a lot of this comes back to communication. Just become a better communicator, and artists and producers are typically not that. People in general are typically not that. It's something you got to work towards.